In '99, he's wearing a Yankee hat, okay? It was the first year of the Subway Series, Interleague Series. We were ready to play the Yankees, but right before we did, we went on a 5-game tailspin. We lost 5 in a row. We were in first place. We went into second place. We were about to get to third place. The first game at Yankee Stadium Friday night, we lost. Second game Saturday afternoon at Yankee Stadium, we lost. After the game, as we came back to Shea Stadium, 3 of my coaches were fired by my general manager. The next day was a Sunday day game at Yankee Stadium. After spending all night talking to my coaches and wondering what the heck I'm going to do with these new coaches on my staff, I had to do a press conference at Yankee Stadium about why the coaches were fired, how we're going to get out of the tailspin, and why the hell I didn't leave with my coaches. And I was really kind of tired and upset and didn't really know what to answer when Murray Chass, who was sitting in the front row, said, "You should have left with them, and you're not going to be here all year, and if you don't turn this around, you should walk out or get fired." And I said, "Well, what do you mean, tomorrow, if we don't turn around tomorrow, or next week, or when are we going to do it?" He said, "Well, what will you do in the next 50 games? And I said, "Well, we'll turn it around." He said, "Well, your record be in the next 50 games?" And a Met fan might remember I said, "It will be 35-15, gulp, end of conversation." I walk off the stage, he writes down 35-15. We go out, we play that game out, lighter pitches against the Yankees, we win 6-1. We start the next series on Monday night against Toronto, we win 4-0. We win Tuesday night against Toronto, and Wednesday night with David Wells pitching, we have a 3-1 lead. They tie it up in the bottom of the 9th inning. And in the 11th inning, Otis Nixon's on first base. I call for a pitch out. Dane Norch throws his bat, it hits Mike Piazza's glove on the pitch out, and he's going to catch it to throw the guy out at second base. They call interference on the catcher. They let the guy go to second, let the guy go to first. Mike starts yelling. I try to keep Mike in the game. I say something I shouldn't to the umpire, he throws me out of the game. Well, now the manager's job is to hand the lineup card over to the next in command. But you know, I had 3 days of turmoil with 3 new coaches on my staff who I had never coached with before, and I didn't know if any of them could actually manage a game. And when I went, "Oh, I gotta turn this over to someone," I didn't know who to give it to, so I just kind of reached it, and Dave Wallace took it from me. And I went up into the clubhouse, and I started throwing stuff, I guess, and kicking stuff, or doing what a manager does when he gets thrown out of the game. And Robin Ventura, who was I pinch ran for him in the 8th inning, was sitting in the clubhouse. And he says, "What the hell are you doing in here? You got to go out there. They don't even know who's in the bullpen for us." I said, "I can't go out there, Robin." He says, "Yeah, you could go out there." He threw me one of his hats, and he had this crazy hat on. I pulled the hat on over. He says, "Well, take off your uniform." So I took off my uniform. He threw me a Led Zeppelin t-shirt that he had. And I said, "This is great, a hat and a t-shirt, but I can't go out there, Robin." So he said, "Well, wear these glasses." And he put on these big glasses. And I went in and looked in the mirror in the training room, and I looked down on the table in the training room, and there's this stuff that we put underneath their eyes, these little stick-em things. When it's a day game and you stick them like this, you've seen them, they're eye black. Well, I peeled them off, and I put one this way, and I put one that way. And I said, "What do you think, Robin?" He said, "They'll never recognize you." Wrong. So then, I'll just fast forward because I'm 30 seconds over, but I go out into the dugout. I'm standing down at the end of the dugout like this, and Ricky Henderson was on first, and there was one out, and Alfonso was hitting. And John Olerud was going to climb out of the dugout, and I'm standing like this. Alfonso pops up, he throws his helmet toward where I was standing, and I jump up against the wall. When I jumped up against the wall, I was now in the view of the third base camera that's up in the second deck. Bad mistake. But as I jumped up, everyone turned their head and looked down the dugout. They all saw me. They all started laughing. Olerud, who was stoic as could be, started laughing walking up to the plate. The first pitch to him was a base hit in center field. Ricky Henderson scores from second base. We win the game. I go out in the field and everyone laughs. Until the guy who wrote down and asked me the question about 35-15 had an off-day story to write and said that I disrespected the game by coming back into the dugout and wearing this mustache, and $10,000 in a 3-game suspension later, I was explaining this to other people. And those 3 games, we were 1-2. It could have cost me my prediction. But let me fast forward. to game 49. We win. The record goes to 34-15. Game 50. Squeeze play, ninth inning. We win. 35-15. You can look at